This is Greg Wilkinson. I represent the One Goal Foundation. That is our motto by which I live my life now. And I try to instill that with those that are suffering from mental illness or homelessness. Almost 2 years ago, my wife passed away suddenly. I struggled with her death and sank into a really deep depression. With no help or support, I internalized much of that guilt and grief. And a year ago, I was involved in a vehicle accident where I suffered from a traumatic brain injury. Untreated and still struggling with the death of my wife, my depression got much worse. It led to drinking heavily, significant weight gain, poor hygiene, and I just didn't care about my appearance anymore. I had many reasons to be happy at the time. I had someone who truly loved me, but none of that mattered. I had lost my way. Confused and depressed, I spiraled out of control. I felt I hurt all those around me in my past and my present, and I had no self-worth. Eventually, I lost something and someone that was very precious to me and that I cherished with all my heart, and that was my wake-up call. I was fortunate that I had a team of doctors and therapists that developed the treatment for my recovery, and they were there to guide me and help me back. I had family and friends who knew who I was before, and they saw who I was becoming, and they were concerned. They were supportive of me and didn't give up on me, nor did they turn their back on me. They were patient. They were there to help me, to get my self-confidence, my self-esteem, and take back control of my life. I once again had purpose and direction in my life, employment, and the future, and I became even better than I was before. It's a hard journey in finding yourself again, and I still work on it daily. But in accomplishing many of my goals, I decided I wanted to give back to those who weren't quite as blessed as I was, and who had lost their way. There are many who didn't have family or emotional support or medical treatment like I had. Eventually they lost everything and they gave up hope. Slowly they sunk further into mental illness and homelessness. And that's where One Goal comes in. It seeks to provide the food, blankets, and shelter and to support those homeless individuals in need. For those who seek it, we provide help in finding their way back to a normal and productive life. This Thanksgiving, as in all Thanksgivings, is time for family and friends and for you to count your blessings. I and those at the foundation this year will be cooking a traditional Thanksgiving dinner that we're going to take to the homeless communities throughout Oklahoma City, so that at least one day we can help someone feel a little better about their lives and themselves. Because it only takes one person to believe in you to start a flame, and that flame can become a fire that turns your life around and set you on the course to becoming the person that you were meant to be. Remember, do not remember me for who I was, but rejoice in who I became.